no matter what your input materials and processes are, there's a certain baseline of good results you can expect from vermicompost in terms of your microbiology. And then Johnson-Su, obviously with the focus on fungi, those are kind of the composts that I think a lot of people that are in this space are used to seeing and understanding as being good biological composts. So how does your compost compare, the microbial content that you're seeing in what you're producing to some of those other ones?
I would say that in comparison to Johnson-Su, I mean, we're seeing really similar fungal to bacterial ratios and biomass levels, but Johnson-Su, often I'm not seeing or hearing about as much of the protozoan and nematodes. And I'm not sure exactly why that's happening, but it could be just that it's sitting out for a long time and there aren't as much of the foods for those organisms present. And it also just takes so long, like Johnson-Su takes about a year until you have a usable product. We have found that we can actually reach what's called biologically complete within 2 months from making a pile. With worm castings, the black gold, usually that's produced at a higher moisture content. And so it can be harder to really cultivate the fungal side of it. Really, what are the worms doing? They're grazing on bacteria and protozoans, and they are, excreting the castings, and those castings are very rich in nutrients and organic matter. Now, on a microscopic level, you have the same thing happening with protozoan and nematodes. So in a sense, we're getting castings in Grozome that are produced by the microscopic versions of an earthworm, right? The nematodes, which are, a lot of people think of nematodes as, they've only ever heard of root knot nematodes. And, nematodes are incredible because they are one of the most prolific and high populations on Earth. There are more populations of nematodes than almost any other organism, I believe. And so in 1 gram of Grozome, we've seen upwards of 700 individual nematodes, 1 tiny gram. So you think about all of that churning that's going on and production of nematode castings, right? So it's kind of like a similar thing to earthworm castings.